Hello everyone! I am so excited to be back shooting a video for Flosstube that involves actual stitching. I've had tons of fun doing the tags, but I haven't really done a cross stitch video in a while. It's been ages. I know, I'm sorry, I'm just really busy. I work at a school. So over the summer I have tons of free time. Even though I'm working on my master's, when I have summer classes, it's okay. I still have other time, but now that the year's in full swing, I've got my full-time job and my master's. So I did my video in August. Class started in September, just ended at the end of November. So I'm finally getting more time. And what little time I did have, I either wanted to rest or do something with my family or stitch, and I just didn't get around to making a video. I'm sorry. I have to figure out a schedule. I mean, at least a monthly. I can totally pull at least a monthly update. I just got to get better at it. So, I know I mentioned on some of the Facebook groups I was going to put this video up yesterday, but we have a lovely new girl moving in next to us, but her house was kind of a mess. That's just the way it was. I think it was foreclosed and all this mess. So she's doing a lot of work and it's going to come out awesome. That does involve a lot of noise. On top of that, it's been like monsooning here for the past 3 days. It's finally not raining that bad anymore. So it was just noisy and dark and gross, but it's okay now. So second thing to mention, my dogs are here with me. So yeah, you can totally hear them. They're playing. Alright, so I'm going to concentrate this video on whips and finishes. I do have a few stash acquisitions, but I will show them at a different video. Just because I talk enough as it is. This is probably going to be pretty long already, so I'll save that for another time. But yeah, so that last video I uploaded was a Crazy 7 video. It's an event that was held by Cross Stitch and Discuss in August. It was 7 starts in 7 days, the first 7 days of August. I actually extended it to 9. So most of the work you're going to see on this is from those starts, those 9 starts, and a few other projects I had before. Not too many of my older whips because I've kind of been concentrating on the newer whips slash one project that has a deadline, so I've been stitching like mad on that one. But when that is done, I'll be able to get back to some of my other stuff. Maybe figure out a rotation. I don't know. So we'll see about that. But for most of them, I do have the project to show you. If not, I'll just insert a picture. All right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Without further ado, let's look at some stitching, shall we? So the first thing I have to show you is actually my oldest whip. I'm trying to reach over here. This is a kit by Dimensions called A Dog's Love. It's one of the very first ones I bought when I first decided to get back into stitching. One of maybe the second or third thing I started. It looks like this. I don't think I've shown this for quite some time, if at all. I don't know if I've shown this. Maybe I have, but this is old. You know how I know? Look at that orange. I don't think you can tell that much, which is good, but there are X's going in all sorts of directions in this thing. There's a few knots in the back, maybe 1 or 2. I started stitching this before I really got into the community, and then I started fixing things as I went along. So in case I haven't shown this at all, I got all the top half done kind of like before I really started with Flosstube and you know, Facebook groups and Instagram, all that stuff. If I did mention it, I would have shown you this much already. I finished the doghouse, which I might have not shown, and the entire belt. I mean, it was kind of like mindless stitching, which is good when you're just trying to get something done and are not interested in spending a lot of time, but it was also, yeah, you know. So now I'm working on the bottom part of this piece, which are all these lines. I got all the brown ones done, and I started on the orange. So this is what I'm talking about here. So I did all the brown lines, and I started on this orange one. So I'm going to go through and do all the orange, come back and do the red, and finally go back and do the green. I still have to also do the paw prints and the writing in the box. And then here, instead of putting the name in the middle, since I have 2 dogs, I'm going to put one to the left, one to the right, and there's just enough space to fit Ellie, space, Sammy. So I'm going to do that. So I'm excited about that and hopefully finishing that, as it is my oldest WIP. I've just, after I got into all the other stuff, I'm like, oh, I want to work on this and this and this and this, which is again why maybe a rotation would be a good idea. Loose rotation probably, because I don't know if I would want to put myself on something like that and like to have to super stick to it, but we'll see. The next thing I want to show you is a project I started for a Sal, which I think it was already over and I didn't get to finish it because again, this other project I'm going to show. But this was for like the Halloween Sal, and this is Halloween Topiary. Topiary? I think that's what it is. And it's a freebie by DMC. It's designed by Lois Winston. So this is what it would look like. And I mean, even though that's not really the pattern, you can still kind of see it. So I'll just keep it from here. So that's kind of what it looks like there. And I really just started on the border. This is the recommended fabric by them. It's light oatmeal 14 count Aida, Fiddler's Aida. And yeah, so I did all the right side and I started on the bottom. So all of this side and a little bit of the bottom. And who knows when I'll get back to that, but I'm looking forward to getting back to it. At least I started it and I have something to work on for next Halloween. So yeah. Another start I did for a Sal was the Teresa Wentzler Sal, and I decided to go with, let me pull this out, the Guardian. And this is actually a kit, which I'm really glad I had because I had originally bought a pattern and I had no time to kit it up. So I found this kit and oh my gosh, I have no idea who it's by. I think it's by Janlin. I don't know at this point, but whatever. So this is the kit. It's called the Guardian. Beautiful. And yeah, let me see if I can just kind of, I have to say, I did not realize that almost every single thread on here, not the thread itself, but you know what I mean, like every symbol is attached to blended colors. I mean, like, I think the only thing that wasn't blended colors was the border. And when I started this, I had so much going on. I'm like, I don't have time to figure this out. So thankfully, let me grab this without spilling everything else I have. Thankfully, the border is one color, and I just did this one corner. And I have not gotten to it since. I know. I didn't grit this. I've been working on not gritting as much just because it takes a lot of time and it's very, very helpful and I like doing it when I can, but I don't always like to. And if I have to, I'll grit like inside the border when I'm done doing it. I think I'm going to do the entire border first. I really like it. I'm excited. Yeah. This is 28 count. It just says even weave fabric, but it's actually Monaco even weave. And I have to say, I really like it. So Lugana and Monaco are both wonderful. I love even weave altogether, but these have been the nicest to stitch on so far. So yeah, not that I'm never going to use Aida again. I do still like it and it's still useful, but I do like my even weave. I think that's my preferred for sure. I thought at first just Lugana, but I think the Monaco too, I really enjoyed. Alright, so now moving on to my Crazy 7 starts. So I think I'll go in the order of the days. Kind of. You'll see what I mean by kind of. But yeah. So, day 1, August 1st, I went with Victorian Palm. This is a kit by Needle Magic Inc. Let me zoom you in so you can see that a little bit better. And this company is near and dear to my heart because Needle Magic Inc. was the first company that I was exposed to. I mentioned in some other videos that my dad bought me my first 2 cross stitch kits and they were by this company. And I searched for them and they're out of business, but they have a ton of their stuff on eBay. So I found this and I really liked it. So on my start date, I started just the trunk. So I guess up to there, that's all I did. From then I've added the vase and a little bit of the green, the darkest green, that are the green from like these 2 leaves here. And when I work with smaller projects or sometimes I'll do like that page. I'll go one color at a time. So that's what I've been doing with this project. I'm not doing it in every project anymore, just because some projects don't lend themselves to that as much. But I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do all the dark green here, and then the leaves of the palm tree, then the lighter green, and then the border. And the back stitching I'll do last. So I'm really excited about that. It's pretty small. It's on 14 count Aida. It doesn't say what color the Aida is. It just says Aida fabric, but it's not white. It's kind of like an off-white. So I like it. I think it's really pretty. And I've been eyeing this kit actually for a while, but I kept seeing it for kind of really expensive. And then I finally saw a better price. Not great, but a better price. But then I noticed that you could get best offer. So if you're eBay shopping and she best offer, don't be afraid, because you can kind of go back and forth a little bit. So I did put in best offer. And she took it, so I was really happy with how much I paid. So that was day 1. Day 2, I'm actually going to hold off till the end because there's kind of a long story attached to it, so I think I'm going to save that one for the end since, you know, I kind of already blab a lot. Alright, day 3, I have right here in my hand, but I don't have the, like, picture, so I'll just insert a picture of the project and where was the day I started here. And I actually finished. This is Monarch Butterfly by Mill Hill. It's on perforated paper and it's got tons of lovely little beads. So you can see there all the detail. It's gorgeous. It's got all sizes. It's got these petite beads here. It's got their regular, like the average size Mill Hill beads here. It's got these bigger ones, and it's got a little like treasure here and there. So I really, really like it. I love stitching butterflies altogether. You might know that if you've seen some of my other videos. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it more than once. One thing though, this wing came out longer than this wing, and it's totally not supposed to be. And I never quite figured out exactly where I miscounted, but it's okay because this is a magnet, so I just have it like this. There's like a little whiteboard behind my desk, so you can't really tell when it's diagonal like that. There are 2 more butterflies in this series, and I have them, the kits, and I can't wait to stitch them because I love it. So that is my day 3 start and my first finish from the crazy 7 starts. Just a second. Peppermint mocha. This one's the Dunkin' Donuts one though. But much better prices. Still like Starbucks, don't get me wrong, but definitely cheaper. Anyway, day 4, I have another kit. Most of my starts were kits. That's because I have more kits than I do patterns. And they're kind of ready to go, so, you know. But this is by Busilla. It's called Didnt Wit. And it is a 5x7 piece on 18 count white Aida. It's a lovely, cute little puppy kind of coming out the side with a guilty face. And I really like it because it kind of reminds me of my younger puppy. She's adorable. And I know when I look at this, I think it's a boy puppy, but it could really be boy or girl. So I really like it. So at this point, I'm actually kind of in the boring part. I'm doing the sea of blue. There I am. I started right here. So I did that first color, then I started the darker line, which is only 2 stitches across, but all the way down. Then there's a third blue, and then you'll start to get into the puppy. So in a way, it's been kind of cool because it's kind of mindless stitching, so I can kind of be either, like I want to work on something, I want to get progress on something, but I just don't really want to think about it too much. So that's what I used for that. All right, so day 5, because that was day 4. So day 5, again, I don't have the actual picture This was a cross-stitch kit from China. You might know it. It's called First Kiss, and it's adorable. It's a young little boy and girl sharing their first kiss. And I love it because it's all in sepia tones, or sepia tones, depending how you say it. So I'll insert a picture of like the picture that I saw of it online and where I was on my start date. And here is where I am now. So not too much more progress. The first day, as you just saw, I had this and like this first part done. I added more of the hat of this color. Then I did a little bit of a darker color here. So I'm really excited. I think this is one of the projects I'm going to pick up right after I finish the project. I'm going to talk about what you can kind of see back there. So I'll zoom in, though, go over there by the end of this video. But this is actually, if you guys don't already know, the cross stitch kits from China all come in 11 count Aida, and I don't know, it's really definitely not my preferred. I don't mind doing projects on it, but when I saw this, I did not know it came on 11 count Aida, and I already had it in my mind how nice it would look on a more delicate fabric. So I picked a 28 count even weave. This is antique white 28 count even weave. This is just the cheapo kind from like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but I'm kind of bummed because the quality feels really kind of bad. And I know I just said it was the cheapo kind, but I'd already picked up Mushroom Lugana of the same brand, like same count, 28. It was by MCG Textile, same price, same size, and like I just felt much nicer than this. This feels kind of rough. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the piece I got or if the mushroom, maybe something in the way it's dyed. I don't know. But it's okay. It'll get the job done. It's definitely nicer than the 11 count Aida, but I'm just kind of like, I thought it'd feel a little bit nicer. But it'll get the job done, and I'm really excited. And I think it'll look, the piece is delicate, so I wanted a more delicate fabric, and I think this will do that for me. So that's that one. All right, so day 6. Yes, day 6, I started a kit by Dimensions. You might have seen this before. This is called Twilight Silhouette. It's a design by Julie Fain, and it's charted by Dimensions. It is gorgeous. If you guys watch Joanne, her channel is Stitching Joanne. She's working on this as well, and I think it's a beautiful piece. I also think it's really interesting. This design is actually charted by Heaven and Earth as well. And so are some of her other designs, which all are kind of like this. Like one is a wolf with the moon in the background and there's purples going on. But I thought it was really interesting because, as you guys probably know, Heaven and Earth is full cross stitches. So Dimensions never do that. There's tons of textures in this. There's regular cross stitch with 2 strands. There's, I think, cross stitch with more strands than that and less. There's half stitches with 1 strand with 5 strands. There's back stitching. There's French knots. So it's really interesting. There's even parts where there is no stitching and the fabric just shows through. So I just think it's so cool. I don't think I would stitch this from Heaven and Earth because I'm already stitching it with this kit. But I just think even if I just Googled an image to see the difference of how like both companies, I guess, got the effects of this with the different types of stitches. So before I forget to show it, I did not do much in this. This day was just not a good day. I started gridding and I feel like I messed up. I'm not sure, but I feel like I messed up on this gridding because I stopped it and then I started on the bottom. I mean, I have a ton of gridding. You can see it on here. I think maybe just the bottom part. Why did I not start where I gridded? You know what? I know why. The last piece that I'm going to show you that I've told you I'm working on is, it's another kit by Dimensions, and it's got all the same textures. And I had been stitching this half stitches, but 5 strands. That's tough after a while. And I think the top started with some of that, and I'm like, no, no, I am not stitching that again. That's too rough on my hands. I didn't want it. So I picked this bottom corner. I know it's super hard to see because of the way the blue is, but you can kind of see it there. There we go. And this is actually the same amount I had that day. I just was not feeling this piece. I think after I finish the project over there, and after I work on some of this other stuff, I think then I'll go back to this and enjoy it. Because right now, and then the other thing is, like, I was gridding. I'm a big into gridding, so I was gridding for projects, you know, and I use, as you can see, I've used different methods depending on what I'm stitching. I use the pen, I use sulky sliver, I use fishing line, or easy count grid line. So I think I also was just tired of gridding, so that's what I got. I can't wait to get it done. I just think I need a break from this particular type of stitches. So yeah. Alright, so then my day 7 start was 4 in the Bush by Ink Circles, and it looks like that. And it actually, there's a way to do it, and I didn't take a full picture of this, but you can fill some of the colors in, but I just did the outline choice only. And the day I started, that's where I was. So just the middle bit, which is that like really middle bit right there. Here, let me see, you can, no. Middle bit. It's like the very center of that flower part. So now I am here. Oh boy. There. And shoot. I know this is the same all the way around, but I don't remember where the top is anymore. Guess it doesn't really matter, but I don't know, maybe I'll just pick whatever side looks nicest when I decide I want to finish this and consider it the top. I don't know. But this is an interesting piece for me because it was my first linen and my first silk. So I've mentioned in the past, linen doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't scare me, doesn't like intimidate me, but I think very mathematically. And just when I heard that linen isn't even, I was just like, I don't know if I like the sound of that. But many of you, Michaela, I'm looking at you, mentioned, try it, you'll love it. She did her ballerina. Oh my gosh, I'm such a dork. Her ballerina on linen, and she said, just try it. It's not like you have super big stitches and super little stitches. So I gave it a shot, and I think the stitches look fine. I can't really see anything where it's like super different in size. It looks fine. This particular piece was just a scrap. It feels a little rough for linen from what I've heard from you guys, but it's my first one. It's just a scrap, so I'm definitely willing to try it. I don't think it's my favorite. I definitely like even weave. It feels nice to stitch with, but there are some beautiful linen out there. So I definitely don't see myself like saying, I hate linen, I'm never gonna stitch on it. No, no, no. I'll do it. But I definitely can tell my favorites are Lugana and Monaco right now. Love them. Love them. So I'm excited to finish this. This is a 32 count Witched linen. I forget the name, but probably like Wisteria or something along those lines. And I'm really excited. So I'm just excited. Oh, by the way, the Silk Oak by Mo's Sale. I feel kind of bad saying that because I don't think she has that anymore. Gorgeous color though. I think she has a similar color out now, so. But yeah, the silk, lovely, beautiful. I love it. The smell, a lot of you have mentioned Mo's smells. I think the silks smell a little bit more than the cottons. I think it's a nice smell, but As you can tell, I'm stuffed up right now, not because of that, but a lot of things make me kind of like sniffly, so I was kind of like, ooh, I need to let that air out at least a little bit, just so it's a little subtler, but it's nice to have some nice smelling floss, so that was nice. Okay, day 8, because remember I extended this to 9 days, right? So day 8, I actually restarted something. So let me pull out my phone again, because I feel kind of bad just flashing back and forth to pictures, because it's a little bit disruptive, not gonna lie. So I started this picture, I should have had this ready, I'm so sorry. So a while back for the Joan Elliott stitch along, I decided I wanted to stitch a fairy. I found this beautiful, gorgeous, free design. It's a collaboration with Joan Elliott and DMC called Stardust Fairy. It's still available on the Didnt Wit website. If you like it, I suggest you go download it. It looks like that, and I know this is a picture on a phone, but you get the idea. Beautiful, beautiful fairy. So I started this on the recommended fabric, which was 14 count Stardust Ada by Charles Crafts, which is I guess they're owned by DMC. And it's beautiful, sparkly fabric. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. Woo, can you see it? I don't know. There's sparkle on here, I promise. So this piece is exactly the size that you need for this. Like, this collaboration was exact. This is the only size they sell this Ada in. It's exactly what you need. It uses all the DMC. It uses the variegated, it uses the satin, it uses their metallic, it uses their regular floss. I mean, this is like a really well thought out collaboration. You get to try all the products of DMC with this and get an idea of how they all work, and it's a beautiful design. So that first day I started the very right of her skirt, and I worked on this for a few days, but I didn't get that much done. And then I started seeing all this 1/1 skin and how beautiful it is and how gorgeous it is, and at that point I had bought Raven Queen by Mirabilia. Well, I was like, okay, I'll just try the 1/1 skin with her. But it's gonna be a while till I do that. Mostly because I have bought like 4 pieces of fabric and I still have not decided what I'm gonna do it on. I think I've narrowed it down to a fabric from Under the Sea Fabrics, and I have other pieces I can do on those fabrics, so it's not like they're completely wasted. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I didn't really get that far. I'm gonna go ahead and restart it. So I went to my LNS. I didn't find a silvery opalescent, but I did find this beautiful pink opalescent 28 count Lugana, which I love. The feeling of the needle going through this fabric is wonderful. It's awesome. I love it. I didn't really regrid, because for some reason I was having a tough time gridding this. I just kept miscounting. Obviously I'd have to count 20 holes over instead of 10, and these are a lot smaller holes. So I can see why gridding on anything higher than 18 count is, it's just, ugh. But whatever. So I just kind of gave myself a guideline on the outside, and I did. Also, this is a lot smaller than this. Even though it's the same size because it's 28 count, these holes are huge. I don't know if it's just this piece, but look at that. Can you see that? I mean, the holes are, look, you can see my hand. You usually can't see that with Ada. These holes are huge. It makes the final product so much bigger. And I don't know what the deal is with this, so I am gonna frog that. I just wanted to keep it to show you where I was. I decided to start on the left side instead of the right side, just because I've had one restarting experience, and that one was a frustrating one because the piece actually got ruined. And I'd done a significant amount, so I started at a different part because I didn't want to restitch everything I'd already stitched that got messed up again. Obviously, I eventually had to restitch it, but yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'll just start on another side just to switch it up, and that's how far I've gotten. That's about half of the bottom skirt. I'm going one color at a time with the skirt, I'm gonna finish the skirt, and I can try 1/1 skin. So I'm really, really excited. I think it's gonna come out awesome. By the way, if you have recommendations for opalescent pieces, and not hand-dyed, just regular, like a white and a silver, just regular opalescent 28 count, could be Lugana or Monaco, I don't care, just regular, like, not regular, what am I looking for? Solid colored opalescent pieces. I'd really appreciate it, because I have a piece that I want to do for Christmas that I did not get to this Christmas, but I know I want to start it maybe for Stitch Mania. I know I won't be ready for it for the starts in January, which I'm not doing the whole month. I'm just going to do the crazy 7 again, which I might extend to 9 or 10 days, but I'm not going to do like months or anything of starts except for Stitch Mania. I do want to do Stitch Mania, so maybe I'll start that. So I wanted to do it on like a sparkly, like an opalescent white Lugana, and if I look for them and it's either a hand dyed, which are beautiful, but that's not what I want for the piece. I don't know, I just have a hard time finding opalescent. It's weird. I've found tons of like just regular white and antique white, but opalescent white, it's like the hardest one to find for me for some reason. Found all sorts of beautiful hand-dyed opalescents, but not white. So, yeah, enough of that rant, right? Right. All right, so the last piece is a really simple piece, and I was going out with my husband and his family, and we were going to like a little water park for kids that weekend, and all the little cousins went, and it was a lot of fun. And I figured that we'd be out for a while and I might not want to be splashing, because it wasn't like a huge water park, it was more like a splash area. So I took a little project. This is called Live, is it called the full thing? It's just called Live Simply, but the whole thing says Live Simply, Love Truly, Laugh Freely. It's a kit by Janland, and it's a ready set stitch. It's like a beginner's kit. It's really simple. It's entirely cross stitch. There's nothing else on there, but I thought it'd be really cute. It was one of the first kits I bought, and then I really got into it, and I'm like, you know what? Why not? I like having a few simple, smaller projects so that I can work on in cases like that. If I'm going out to a party and I know we're going to be outside a lot and we might be sitting off to the side, or if there's a long car trip. I'm not a very good car stitcher, but if it's simple, I can kind of stitch on that during that. So, and also I plan on turning this into a cushion. So that'll be a new experience as well, because I want to try that really bad, and I have no idea how to use a sewing machine, so it'll all have to be done by hand. But yeah, so here is where I am with that. The very first day there's 3 yellows in this vase. I'd done one of the yellows, then I finished the other 2 yellows, I added the purple, and I started the green vine. So it's a simple little project on 14 count Ada, and I'm excited to work on it. Every once in a while. Sorry, I thought I like had a dog under me, and it's just a shoe. The dogs aren't even with me right now. I have to show you before I show you like the one that has the big story, as if I haven't talked enough already, but you guys know me, right? You know I talk a lot, right? Right. All right. Anyway, so I do just have a picture of this. I'll show it to you, but I think I'll also maybe, depending on how well it shows up, I might insert it. I did this for my husband for our anniversary, and I enjoyed it a lot. It is I Love You More by Bent Creek. It is awesome. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So it kind of was a break from this big project that I've been just stitching on like non-stop. I did it over Thanksgiving weekend. Our anniversary was the 23rd, our wedding anniversary, and our dating anniversary is the 25th, which actually we were trying to get married on the 25th, but it didn't work out. So the 23rd was our next best shot. 24th didn't work. So what else? So I did it for like our anniversary time, and I just needed a break from the big project, and we were going off camping, so I needed something that would be easy to stitch either on the road or during downtime during camping, and I got it stitched in those like 3-4 days. So that was a lot of fun. It was also really exciting for me because it was my first time using hand-dyed cotton. I used, it was Weeks Dye Works and One Gentle Arts, and they were really pretty. Oh my gosh, one of the skeins of that, I'll have to show it to you when I do my floss video. It's called Kentucky Bluegrass. Oh my gosh, that color is gorgeous. It's so beautiful. I'm such a sucker for teals. Purple and teal. Again, purple and teal and like those like aqua. Oh, love them. Love them. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah. Hey guys, so this is slightly different angle for this part. I'm just switched over to this because I think it'll be easier than moving the camera around. So this is my day 2 start. It is called Santa Sidecar. It's a stocking kit by Dimensions. And I started, the very first day I started, I just did the dark red in that top corner there. So that was harsh. This top bit was harsh. My goodness. Those are half stitches, but they're worth 5 strands each. That was so harsh on the hands. Oh my goodness. Not my favorite thing to do. And that's why I mentioned I didn't want to do the Twilight Silhouette one, because when I saw it had those half stitches with 5 strands, I'm like, no, I am done with that for a while. So this has been my focus pretty much all this time. Like I mentioned, I'm taking my master's, and I'm doing that after work, so I don't have too much time, and this has to be done by Christmas, before Christmas, because I need to give it to the person who's going to finish it. This is where I am now. I have been cranking this out like every weekend since I finished my class. I stitched up to about here, and I'm sorry you can't see the top part, but I'm working on this constantly and I didn't want to take it out. But I did finish the entire top. I just didn't put the name in. So all the red is done, all those stars are done in the green outline. But I did all the cross stitching, which I finished recently. You might have seen my Facebook update. Since then, I've done all these half stitches in 2 strands. There's a little bit left here where like the toe ends, but I'm going to finish all the back stitching and then take it out of the Q-snap and do the rest of these half stitches. And there's some white at the bottom. This is all white half stitches in those 5 strands again. So not entirely looking forward to that, but gotta get it done. So this I'm really excited about because this is for a cousin in the family. My husband's aunt has the tradition of making stockings for every family member. So when family members either join through marriage or are born into the family, she stitches them a stocking. And she's been doing that for a really long time. She used to do the felt applique ones, but after a while now she's been doing cross stitching. When my husband and I got married, I wasn't cross-stitching yet, but I still did appreciate it very much because I know, like, I'd done cross-stitching in the past, and I knew how much it takes. But she makes matching stockings when people get married, and I hope, like, this is okay. It's hard to turn the camera back and forth, but, yeah, so 2 matching stockings. That's a lot. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. So I volunteered to do the second one, and this is where it is. And I gotta get this done for Christmas, just because, like, even though they say it's okay if they don't have it this Christmas because they have the one from when they were born, but I wanted to match her husband's, and I'm almost there, so I'm really excited. And I'm excited to be part of the tradition. I do think I will ask her to please let me stitch my kids' stockings whenever we have children, because I think that'll be really important to me, so I might do that. So yeah, if I do stitch stockings in the future to continue the tradition, I will hopefully help get a little bit more notice. I did get this in about August, a little bit before August, started it August 2nd, but really have been working on it mostly in November. Like up to here was what I worked on before, like this last weekend of November. All of this I've been cranking it out the past few weekends, I guess. So maybe not the last weekend in November, but yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. I think it's beautiful and gorgeous and so fun and exciting. But definitely some mistakes on here. I think I did a good job of fudging it and fixing it up, but definitely some mistakes, which is fine. You know, it happens. So yeah, that is my Sandtai Sidecar Skulking. I'm hoping to show it to you as a finish, probably on my next video. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. I am so glad I finally got this update taped and just up and taped. Oh my goodness. Filmed, recorded, taped, like we use tapes anymore. Okay, so I'm glad I got this filmed. I'm glad to have it up. I'm going to try. I'm not gonna make any promises because I'm terrible, but I'm gonna try to do at least a monthly update just because, like, it's been way too long. It's been way too long. I love doing this. I just get busy all the time. Before I go, I have a special surprise for you. So, I got my husband to stitch something. I found a perler bead pattern because I tried to find a cross stitch pattern and I could not find one I liked. And it's Yoda! He stitched Yoda! Look at it, it's so adorable! It's got like 4 colors in it. It was supposed to have 5 with the white, but he actually liked just the eye, like the difference of having this stand out versus like just have the white fabric showing through. And it's on 11 count because, you know, he's like, how do you do this? This is impossible. It's tiny. But I think he's going to try and stitch another Star Wars piece that he found on Etsy. I just had him like just browse and find something. And he's going to do that one on 14 count. I just told him it would look a little bit nicer and it'll make this pieces a little bit smaller. Just because this was tiny, but once you start going big, 11 count it gets huge. Even if the piece itself isn't really that big. So yeah. I'm excited. I don't think he made all his X's in the same direction, but that's okay. He's learning and he wants to stitch something else. Yay! Yay! Letitia, I haven't seen a video from you in a while, and I know you said your husband was gonna stitch something, so I can't wait to see if he stitched his piece. But I am so excited about this. I was so happy when he's like, yeah, I'll stitch something. It just gotta be cool. So I'm like, okay, I need to find him something that's cool. So I found him this. And he has not, it took him forever. But that's because, like, this is not his, like, leisurely, I want some chill time. He will go on his video games and all stuff. Or even his coding. He loves his coding. That's really what his job is supposed to be, but you know, he's the only web developer in his company, so he's got a lot of responsibilities, but his thing is coding, so he'll just code. So he probably just code an image of Yoda. I don't even know if you can do that. You probably can. But he stitched this, so yay! So I'm excited. Hopefully he will continue to do so, and I will show you his projects in the future. But yeah, so that's it, you guys. I will eventually, I do have one other thing I started, but I want to wait on it because I think I'm going to restart it. I only did like 12 stitches, but I'm not entirely happy with my fabric, so I might restart that before I show it to you. And hopefully that will be soon. It just depends how quickly the fabric gets here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to, I think, just check out for now. I will eventually do the floss video and the fabric video, but I'm not sure when I'll do that. It's holiday time. When I go on break, I'll try and maybe get that in. I don't know if I'll do patterns because I don't have that many, but maybe I'll do like kind of like what some people have done where they just do like a slideshow video so that I can show you my patterns that way, and that way you can probably see them better than me showing you either pictures or holding it up, and I don't have them all printed anyway. So I'll do that eventually, and I will try and get another update soon. Guys, thank you so much for sticking it out with me and sticking around even though I haven't uploaded in forever. I am so appreciative of all your support. I mean, just from the cross-stitch community online in general, in Facebook and Instagram, everywhere. Everybody, I mean, it's not perfect. We all know what happened and drama that goes on, but that happens anywhere. For the most part, though, I've experienced wonders, and I'm really grateful. especially because I know I can do some things that maybe doesn't appeal to everybody, like talking forever and ever and ever, and sometimes not uploading very often. So thank you if you've been waiting for the video. Here it is. Any questions, any comments, put them down below. I always do that, just like Heather says. Hi, Heather. It might not always be down there. Like there was a time where like the sidebar was like on this side, but then, you know, when you tape yourself, you're going the other way, so you on this side, so you're pointing at like nothing. So yeah, just put that in the comments section, and I will reply to you as soon as I get the chance to. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you hopefully soon. Have a great holiday time if I happen not to see you till after. But I think you will. All right. Bye.